You guys seem to really enjoy my previous video about how underrated the Jedi Master Shaak Ti was. Because of that, I've decided to continue the series, but this time we will not be talking about a Jedi. Today we'll be discussing one of the most terrifying Sith Lords in galactic history, and especially from the Old Republic era. A Sith Lord that with the help of two other notable Sith Lords nearly wiped out every single Jedi in existence. The Sith Lord responsible for one of the most devastating Jedi purges in galactic history. A powerful Sith Lord who studied under some of the most powerful Sith in their own rights. Those Sith like Revan, and before Revan, Exar Kun. The Sith Lord we will be discussing today was unfortunately overshadowed by two other notable Sith of his era, those Sith Lords being Darth Nihilus and Darth Traya. But for today's video of documenting underrated Sith Lords and Jedi, we will be talking about Darth Sion. Originally, Darth Sion was a disciple of the fallen Jedi prodigy Exar Kun. Unfortunately though, when Exar Kun fell, so did Darth Sion. Sion was struck down by a Jedi moments before Exar Kun was defeated for the first time. However, instead of death claiming the Dark Lord of the Sith, anger, pain, and hatred took a hold of him. The literal dark side of the Force refused to let this Sith Lord die, as it brought him back from the dead. Decades later, Darth Sion would find hope yet again in another fallen Jedi turned Sith Master. This Sith Master was Revan and his apprentice Darth Malak. Unfortunately for Sion though, Revan again turned to the light side of the Force, and in his light side killed his former apprentice Malak. Over these two great wars fighting for the Sith though, Darth Sion was killed over and over again. Although he would always return back to life, the pain and suffering that his body sustained was eternal. Instead of attempting to fight through this great pain and suffering, Darth Sion embraced it, and therefore it gave him great power within the darkness. By holding on to his hatred, it allowed him to return to life. The more times he was killed, the more powerful he became. After years of battling Jedi, it was revealed that the Force was the only thing holding Sion's body together, and that without it, he would crumble into a million separate pieces. Darth Sion was such a monster that other Sith Lords considered him a perversion of the dark side of the Force. They believed that the dark side was meant to be elegant and powerful, and everything that Sion was went against this belief. Unfortunately, there is no information on Darth Sion's lightsaber skills, but I believe we can still deduce what forms he used. As I said earlier, Darth Sion learned the ways of the dark side of the Force under two notable Sith Lords, Darth Revan and Exar Kun, both Sith that utilized Form 6 lightsaber combat, or in layman's terms, the jack-of-all-trades form. Form 6, known as Nyman, took all of the pieces from the previous lightsaber forms and formed them into one style. It is believed that Sith Lords such as Exar Kun and Revan were stated to use Form 6 because they were just so proficient in all of the other forms, and could seamlessly move between the forms in a lightsaber duel, as they had mastered them all, therefore simply referring to them as Nyman Masters. Although it's likely that Darth Sion used Nyman, it is unlikely that he was very proficient at it. Darth Sion draws his power by the ability that he cannot be killed, not the fact that he's exceptionally skilled in lightsaber combat. In fact, we know he isn't. Darth Sion has been killed by Jedi and Sith Lords over his life dozens of times. When Darth Nihilus and Darth Sion teamed up to defeat Darth Traya, it was only here that she noted Darth Sion as a lightsaber duelist. Traya only stated that together were they formidable, not one-on-one when concerning skill with the lightsaber. In truth though, this doesn't matter, as again, it was never Sion's intention to become exceptionally skilled with the blade, just to remain alive using his great pain. Many of the Jedi that fought Darth Sion would consider him a brute in lightsaber combat. He was very physically powerful, but he was sloppy. This also leads me to believe he may have been a practitioner of Form 1 lightsaber combat, Form 1 known as Shi Cho, but even as Darth Sion's master would note, it is a simple lightsaber form, but its simplicity is its strength. Form 1 is also a style that can lead down the path to the dark side of the Force, and has been described as wild and raw. This is why I've determined that Darth Sion either used Form 1 lightsaber combat or a very minor form of Nyman Form 6. If he did indeed use Nyman, he was nowhere near the level of Sith Lords like Exar Kun and Revan. When concerning Force abilities, Darth Sion wasn't really that noteworthy either. He was proficient in things like telekinesis and Force Rage. In all of Darth Sion's showings, he's he's never been seen to be extremely proficient in any extremely difficult dark side ritual or anything like Force alchemy. At our best assumptions, Darth Sion concerning his lightsaber skills and powers within the Force was above average, but still again this doesn't matter. Essentially, the only way to keep Darth Sion dead for sure is to convince him to die himself. It was only after the Jedi Mitra Surik convinced Darth Sion to give in to death that he was finally defeated. Mitra Surik though had a special command over Darth Sion that had never occurred with him before. Darth Sion thought that this Jedi was beautiful. Unlike anything before, he could feel the good within her, and because of that, he was weakened by her very presence. Even Mitra Surik though did not strike down Darth Sion in the end. In the end, it was only his choice to give into the Force and join with it, and his choice alone to end his suffering. Thus, why Darth Sion is extremely powerful, and one of the most underrated Sith Lords in Star Wars The Old Republic, as again, he's often overshadowed with great flashy Sith Lords such as Revan, Nihilus, or even his master Kreia, and therefore why I chose to make a video on why he was underrated. But leave your thoughts on Darth Sion in the comments down below, and after finishing this video, do you have a newfound respect for this ancient Sith Lord? Again guys, please leave suggestions for future underrated Jedi and Sith that you would like to see explored in the comments down below. As always my friends, thank you so much for watching, may the Force be with you, and have a great day.